Hello and welcome to this episode of This Might Help from Borne. I'm Chris Murphy, a non-exec director at the agency, which sounds very formal and corporate, so we tend to refer to me as agency uncle. I had my own agency for 21 years before selling it and have since advised a number of businesses ranging from PLCs to startups. So it's against that background and thoughts of my own over the last few weeks that I'd just like to share three things with you in this episode. First is a sort of a general point, which I think applies to both our lives inside work and outside as well. And that's about, I think, acknowledging how we feel during this time. So there are very few references that we can turn to about how to cope and how we feel. There aren't many self-help books or TED Talks or blogs about living through a pandemic. So I think it's okay to just acknowledge how you're feeling, which might be things around anxiety and concern and worry, understandably. But equally, there might be parts of lockdown that you're finding beneficial, even enjoyable. I know for me, my feelings can change day to day and often can change within the same day. So I think it's okay to just acknowledge how you feel, rest easy with that. I heard a great quote last week which said, "There is no right way to feel right now." And I think that's true. So I would urge you, if you have feelings that you can share with other people, sometimes just talking things through can be really helpful and beneficial. The second point was around company values and culture. I think this is a time to really hold true to those, to use them as an anchor. It's important that you stick with the essence of your business, which is what culture and values are. I think it's also important to acknowledge that some of them you might dial up, some of those values you might dial up during this period, others you might dial down. If you were to abandon those values or even think about changing them, I think that can be very distracting for leaders of businesses and senior management, but also very unsettling for colleagues and for customers and clients. And the third and final point is actually about maybe acknowledging that there is changes needed with regard to your strategic plans, by which I mean your long-term goals and aims as a business and how you plan to get there. We all know that we are living through a period of unprecedented change and turbulence, and for the vast majority of businesses, the world and the business world will be very different when they come out the other side. So I think it's important to just look at those plans for the future, think about whether or not they're still achievable and relevant. It may well be that they are, but the route that you take to achieve those and deliver the plan might have to change. I also think for individuals, and I mean by that business leaders, it can be a positive use of the downtime that most of us have got at this time. Whilst you have a little bit more time to think, that could be a good way to use that time. But also, I think in terms of our morale, I think it's good if we look forward to how business might be the other side of this crisis, because we will get to the other side, and in amongst all of the worries and anxieties, there might be some real opportunities as well. That in a world which is rapidly changing, if for most businesses, if you were to be risk adverse, that in itself could be a risky strategy, because as I say, and as we all know, the world will be very different. So I hope you've found those points useful. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and bye for now.